Welcome to the Real Estate Espresso Podcast, your morning shot of what's new in the world of real estate investing. I'm your host, Victor Minash. Today I want to talk about learning artificial intelligence and why it's fundamentally different from learning most other professional skills. If you decide you want to become a doctor, you commit to a long, structured journey. Years of study, exams, residency, and then a licensing body tells the world, yes, this person meets the standard. Same thing with engineering, law, accounting, IT security, even trades like electrical. You put in the reps, you cross the stage, and you get the credential. And yes, the world changes. Doctors have continuing education. Lawyers track case law. Engineers adapt to new codes. But the underlying framework, the language, the standards of the practice, those evolve slowly enough that your investment in your learning compounds over a career. AI is different. In AI, what worked 90 days ago can be obsolete today, not because the fundamentals changed, but because the tool set changed, the interface changed, the capabilities changed, the cost changed, the workflow changed, and the people around you, your competitors, your employees, your vendors, they're all adapting in real time. If you learned the way to do something in AI in a model last quarter, there's a decent chance you're already working off an outdated playbook. So what does it mean if you're serious about learning it? It means you're not learning a profession with a stable body of knowledge. You're learning to operate inside a moving river. And if you treat that river like a textbook, you're going to struggle. The first trap people fall into is credential thinking. They ask, what course do I take? What certificate do I get? What's the official curriculum? They want the comfort of a finish line because that's how we're trained. We like milestones. But AI doesn't care about your certificate. The market doesn't reward a credential. It rewards the output. The output is extremely sensitive to your ability to adapt. So the skill is not knowing AI. The real skill is building a learning system that keeps you current. You can think about it like real estate, except on a very accelerated timescale. If you underwrite a deal once and never look at it again, you're not an investor, you're a tourist. The project lives through phases: entitlement, design, financing, construction, and lease-up. Except instead of the time frames being measured in months, they're measured in days. At every phase, the constraints change, and your job is to adapt the model to match reality, not to defend your original assumptions. AI is the same. Your workflow is the model, your prompts, your automations, your data pipeline, your review process. Those are the underwriting, and you should expect to revise them repeatedly. Repetition breeds excellence, but only if you're repeating the right process. Here's the second trap. People treat AI like software. They assume there's a button sequence, a fixed menu, a best practice that's stable. But AI behaves more like a junior analyst who changes every week. One week it's brilliant at summarizing contracts. Next week it's even better. And then it can cite sources or interpret spreadsheets or write code or run multi-step tasks. Then a new release changes how it reasons. And suddenly your old prompt that used to work perfectly is now mediocre. So the skill you're building is not memorization, it's judgment. You have to develop an instinct for what to delegate, what to verify, and what to never outsource. That verification piece matters more than you could even know. In real estate, we say trust but verify. A broker's opinion is not a market study. A contractor's quote is not a guaranteed cost. Pro forma is not reality. AI is the same in that sense. It can be incredibly productive, but it can also be confidently wrong. And if you're using AI to move faster, you need quality control systems that move with it. Here's a practical way to think about learning AI that actually works. First, stop trying to learn everything. Instead, pick one workflow in your life or business that has leverage. Maybe it's reading offering memorandums. Maybe it's drafting investor updates. Maybe it's writing job descriptions or due diligence checklists. Maybe it's turning meeting notes into action items. Pick one thing that you do every week, something that costs time, something where improved speed and clarity creates value. Second, build a loop, experiment, measure, refine. You try a new tool or a new approach. You measure the result. Did it save you time? Did the quality improve? Did it create a new risk? Then you refine the prompt, refine the inputs, and refine the review step. Third, document what works, but assume your documentation is going to expire. It's got a short shelf life, kind of like tomatoes. In most fields, you write a playbook that stays relevant for years. In AI, your playbook needs versioning. You want to date it, treat it like a living document, and if you have a team, assign ownership. Someone has to be responsible for keeping it current, because if you don't, what happens is predictable. Your organization builds habits around an old capability, and then the world leaps forward. And that's when you hear people say, AI didn't work for us. Well, no, it actually did work. You just froze your learning at a moment in time. And here's the biggest difference of all. In traditional professions, the licensing body sets the standard. In AI, the standard is set by the market in real time. That can feel uncomfortable, but it's also an opportunity. The people who win are not the ones who took the earliest course. They're the ones who built the best learning discipline. So as you think about learning AI, stop asking, how do I master it? Start asking instead, how do I stay in motion? Because the advantage is not knowing the tool. The advantage is your ability to adapt faster than the environment is changing. As you think about that, have an awesome rest of your day. Go make some great things happen. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.